Good morning, STEM thinkers and doers. I'm Dorinda Reisenhuber. I'm the Education Coordinator for the NASA Oklahoma Space Grant Consortium, and I have an assistant today.
Hi, my name is Kyla Reisenhuber, and I'm a junior at the Oklahoma School of Science and Mathematics.
And Julie had just heard what we said, NASA Oklahoma Space Grant Consortium. And yes, NASA as a National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The NASA Space Grant Consortium is a partner with NASA. There is a NASA Space Grant Consortium in each of the 50 states, one in Puerto Rico and one in DC, so 52 total. And I have the awesome job of overseeing our STEM Engagement Centers. It's a NASA OKSG STEM Engagement Center in Stillwater, where I get to do fun, hands-on demonstrations all the time with educators, pre-service and in-service all over the state, as well as students from all over the state. So we're going to get you started on some exciting demonstrations that we had today that have to deal with rocketry. So have you ever wanted to take a trip on a rocket and travel to the moon or Mars or beyond, Kyla?
Yes, I have.
I know. Kyla wants to be an astronaut when she grows up. And I always say I still want to be an astronaut when I grow up too. But today we're going to look at rockets, and specifically, I don't know if you know this, but in the year 2024, we are planning to go back to the moon. And that trip back to the moon is going to help us learn things about how we need to build our technologies and what technologies that we're going to need to go on to Mars. And in order to do that, we're going to be going up in a rocket called the Space Launch System. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But how does this rocket work, and how do we get rockets going to all of these planets and all of these places that we can explore? So let's get started first with what we call Newton's bag. And it's just typically a bag of toys or a bag of items that you could find around your house, in a school, anywhere. And so for today, we just went around and kind of found some random things. We found a car, so it's got wheels on it. We found a Crayola crown, and what color is it? Apricot, an apricot crown. We also have a ping pong ball, and it could be any type of ball in this situation. And then we also found a spool of fishing line. You're probably like, that doesn't sound like much of a toy. But we're going to show you how we can use it in this experiment here in just a minute. So Kyla, could you please show me one way that you could make the car move and make it stop?
Well, I can make it move by pushing it and then putting my hand on top of it.
Okay, so she moved that car by pushing it. And then when she put her hand over it, that stopped the car. So what was the car doing beforehand, before you pushed it?
It wasn't moving. It was sitting still.
It wasn't moving. It was sitting still, wasn't it? All right, so let's look at this ball. We've got a ping pong ball. What's the way that you can make that ball move?
I can toss it.
And I can stop it with my hands, right? Excellent. So what was happening at first?
It wasn't moving.
It wasn't moving, right? And then it was moving until I caught it, and it completely stopped it from moving. All right. Next item that we have, the crown. Kyla, what's the way that you could make the crown move?
I can push it and then put my hand on top of it again.
Put her hands on top of it. Excellent. Excellent way to do it. What else could you do with that crown?
I could also throw it.
And I can catch it. So she threw it, that got it moving, and I caught it, and that made it stop. Excellent. All right, so the next thing that we've got is this spool of fishing line.
I can make it roll.
Okay, so she is pushing it to make it roll, and then she stopped it with her hand. Also, how about you start it rolling, and I'm going to push it back towards her. Okay, so she pushed it towards me. I stopped it moving by pushing it back toward her, which in turn got it moving again. Okay, so you're saying, why are we talking about things moving and stopping? Well, guys, what you just discovered in a few minutes is what we call force. And force is a push or a pull, which we place on an object that makes it move, okay? So by placing, there's a science word that we can use, and that's exerting. Can you say that word with me? Exerting. Excellent. So the push or the pull exerts movement, and that's what a force is, okay? So it's a push or a pull that makes something move, makes an object move. So let's look at that and think take that to the next step. We're going to make a little mini rocket here. What do you think about that, Miss Kyla?
Oh, fun.
All right, so Kyla, you have your bag right there, and that's all your fish rocket supplies. So you'll go ahead and pull that out. So we're going to show what we have in case you would like to recreate this at home. We have an interlocking film canister. Now, with this film canister, what you need to understand, and I'm going to have a hard time opening that, aren't I, on camera? It's interlocking. So you see the ridges on the inside, it locks from the inside. The film canisters that are typically black with the gray lid, those are outer locking. Those don't lock on the inside, and it needs to be an interlocking. You could also see if there are other items that you have at home that interlock like this. That would also work if you do not have a film canister. Typically like PG film, and I know film isn't all that popular anymore, but it is making a comeback. You might have that in your house. Okay, so I'm going to take my interlocking film canister. I'm going to take the lid off of it. You see how this hole is facing straight up? The hole is facing straight up, okay? So I'm going to take that hole and I'm going to put it where it's facing right there on my counter. So now it's the solid part on the top. Do we all see that? That's very important. And then I'm just going to set the lid aside. I don't want to throw it away, so we'll do it here in a minute. All right, so the next thing Kyla has is a nose cone. So you can take any circular object in your house, draw a circle, and you just cut a pie piece out of it and make you a little Pac-Man. Okay, so just make you a little circle. And then we've also got 4 pins here that are cut out of cardstock. It doesn't matter what size, what shape they are. We just want them smaller than my film canister. So you can see that each one of these is smaller than the film canister. All right, so the first thing that Kyla's going to do is she is going to take her little Pac-Man and hold the corners of the mouth. And then she is going to, twist that so that it makes what looks like a little hat. Excellent. Kyla, can you show that one more time? Okay, so she takes her Pac-Man mouth and she closes it. And she's going to tape it right there. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that on the rocket. So for just a minute, now guys, I know that circles do not have sides. But for this, you're going to hear me say sides, and that's just to help us know where to put that tape. Okay, so the first thing, Kyla's going to put the tape on where it attaches not only to the little nose cone, but also to the body of the rocket, or the fuselage of the rocket, the body of the rocket. Then she's going to go on the other side. So she has on the body too, on the body of the rocket, she has put 2 pieces of tape, 1 on each side. All right, the next thing that she's going to do is she's going to take all 4 of those cards all together, and then she's just going to barely bend one of the sides. Okay, so it's going to create a flap on all 4 of them. Kyla, why don't you show that really clearly what you did? Excellent. So she just bent it, and it kind of looks like a chaise lounge. Look, you can like hang out at the beach on those little fins, huh? Okay, the next thing that she's going to do is we're going to take all of these apart, and then we are going to grab some tape. We're going to put tape on each of these. And we just need a little bit. It doesn't need to be very much. I probably got too much that first time. So we're going to put 1 fin on. Then we're going to go to the opposite side, stick another fin on. Those aren't very straight, but it's okay. My rocket will forgive me for this. The purpose of what we're experimenting with, it's okay if our fins don't look great. Now, if I were looking at fin design, then I'd want to be more precise with my fins. I also could make those fins any cool shape that I wanted to make them. That's right there on that side. Okay, so now Kyla has her rocket ready to go. So Kyla, just using the rocket, what is a way that you could make that rocket move?
I can throw it up.
Okay, and how did you stop it?
I caught it with my hand.
Okay, excellent. Also, could you toss it to me?
I can.
Okay, so she made it move by throwing it, and I caught it, which made it stop. Okay. So, and what was it doing when you just had it in your hand?
It wasn't moving. It was still.
Yeah, it wasn't moving at all, so she threw it to me. So we're playing that again, aren't we? It's interesting. I wonder what all that means. Let's have to get to that in a minute, won't we? Okay, so what's a way that I could make it move if I took an acid tablet? Now, guys, if you're doing this at home, make sure you have mom and dad help you with this part, because this is a medicine. And you can use the off-brain if weight is absolutely fine. But you can also use Alka-Seltzer tablet. The name brand is black. So whatever you have at home, or if you don't have an Alka-Seltzer tablet, there are some other things we'll talk about in a minute that you could also use. Okay, so Kyla, how could you make this move with just your rocket and the tablet?
I can throw it at it.
Okay, you can throw it at it, and then it just kind of seemed to stop on its own, didn't it?
Right.
Or friction stopped it, right?
Right.
And friction can act as that push or pull. So, excellent. Okay, so we looked at that. Now, what if I added water into this equation? What's the way that you could make it move?
I could put water in the rocket and this in the rocket.
Okay, so she said that we could put water in the rocket. I'm going to go ahead and put this plastic baggie down so we can use it as our, there we go, exploratory space. And we're going to go ahead, let's put the water in first. And I'm kind of making a mess. That's not a first, is it? And I want to fill it up about half full. So would you say it's about half full?
Yeah.
Kyla? Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to take half of this tablet and we're going to stick it in there. We're going to put this on here. And let's see what happens. Whoa, my goodness! So at first, what was happening?
It was
just sitting there, right? It was at rest. It was just sitting there. It wasn't moving, okay? So the absence of movement, it was resting. Resting. What a great vocab word. And once the force, so once all of this force was built up inside, it caused the rocket to go up and the fuel to come out, right? So it forced the rocket out, and the rocket went up until gravity, which is all around us, forced it or pushed it back down to our countertop. So in case you've never ever seen what happens with Alka-Seltzer, and you may be wondering, okay, what do you mean that created a force inside of there? So let's see what happens when we put water and Alka-Seltzer tablets inside a glass of water. So go ahead and open that up, and we're just going to put a bunch of them in. I'm going to go ahead and use this. All right. And science is only great science if it's messy, right? All right. So we're going to put all those in there. And you see what's happening right there? It's bubbling, okay? And it's creating a gas. And you can kind of see the stuff rising up on top. That's what we call a gas. And so it created this gas inside that needed somewhere to escape. And when it needed somewhere to escape, that forced the top off downwards and the rocket up. And then gravity acted upon it and pulled it back down. Well, what did we just learn there? You guys said it. It was at rest. It wasn't moving until that reaction started. And that reaction pushed it up. And then gravity pulled it or pushed it back down to the countertop. Well, what you guys just discovered is Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest will remain at rest until an outside force acts upon it. And an object in motion will remain in motion until an outside force acts upon it. Our rocket sat there until a force acted upon it, and it kept going up until another outside force acted upon it and pushed it back down to this table. Oh my goodness, you guys are such smart rocket scientists. How lucky are we to be in the midst of greatness today? Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, we looked at that. Well, let's look at another concept of rocketry. Okay, so now we understand how we get those rockets up, right? So we've got forces involved. Now let's look at another part of rocketry. So we are going to create what's called an astrolunautic device, and Kyla's going to help us make that here. What she has is a variety of items. So what you could do is you could have an unsharpened pencil at home. In our case, we didn't have any unsharpened pencils, but we have a ton of mechanical pencils. So we use a mechanical pencil, and we also have a bendy straw. So this is very important that it's bendy. It must be a bendy. Some things that we do, they can call for either straw. But for this particular experiment, you must have a bendy straw. You also are going to need a rubber band, and a thin rubber band works fantastic for this. Next, you are going to need a pen, a straight pen. For this particular pen, this is a quilting pen. It's got one of those balls on top. It's okay if you don't have a quilting pen. It can be any type of pen. You might even try and tack, but it's just going to depend on how long that tack is. It's going to see why it's going to be long enough in a certain way. Oh no, and I got our little astronaut wet. Oh well, it'll still work. We've got a little astronaut cut out. You could also just make a little paper and make a little astronaut right quick and do that as well. But we've got a little astronaut cut out. And then you're going to need a balloon. Now, Kyla's going to do something to this balloon, which is greatly going to help us here in a minute. Okay, she's going to blow it up. You can see how she kind of stretched it and blew it up. Excellent. Okay, go ahead and or deflate that. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said I should say deflate would be the good science word for that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, now that you know what all supplies you would need, and you probably can find a lot of these supplies around your home. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the balloon on the non-bendy end, okay? Well, actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and bend this straw. So we're going to bend this straw so it looks like an L, all right? We're going to bend it so it looks like an L or a really tall chair. Okay, so now on the non-bended side, Kyla is going to place the balloon. All right, and then she's going to take the rubber band, and she's going to wrap that around. Now, as she's wrapping it around, she's making sure that she doesn't get the big ball part of the balloon, and she's also going to make sure that she doesn't get it on too tight. Now, with getting it on too tight, she wants to make sure that she does not crush the straw, and that's very important. We get one more time on it, maybe? And that will probably be sufficient. Okay. So this balloon is not going to fall off, and that's basically what we're trying to do. Okay, so now that you've got this part done, we need to look at this balloon and how it's weighted. So I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm actually going to try to balance the weight as much as I can. It's not going to be real close, but as much as I possibly can. I'm going to put it closer to the balloon side because the balloon side is the heavier side of this straw. Would you say that, Miss Kyla? Okay. And then Miss Kyla is just going to poke that through the top of the straw all the way in through the eraser. Okay? Excellent. So now we pushed up that straw so it's kind of suspended in the middle of the pen. Okay, so now Kyla is going to blow this up. Do you think you have the lungs to do this?
I hope so.
All right, let's see if she does, guys. Oh, look at that. She's blowing from her diaphragm, isn't she? All right, so now Kyla is going to, what would you say that? Close off the air. Sorry, I was losing my word. So she's going to close off the air, and then here in just a second, when I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off, she's going to let go. And I want you to see Kyla, you hold this at the bottom so you can see very closely. I want you to, we forgot one thing. Look at our astronaut. Oh no, let's get our astronaut in here so we can talk about our astronaut. So we're just going to tape this astronaut on, this part right here, and you can actually do this part before you blow up the balloon. Ours is wet, yours wouldn't be wet, but we'll make it work in this case. All right, so Kyla let go of the balloon. All right, so did you see what happened? So that astronaut spun, didn't it? And that air was coming out, and the air came out to the right? And then the astronaut spun to our left. That was probably the opposite of you guys out there in TV land. But on our side, the air was coming out to the right, and the astronaut was spinning to the left. That is what we call an equal and opposite reaction, isn't that? Because those are opposite directions. And so that's really important to understand with rockets. So when our rocket goes up, and we'll talk about this a little bit with a fizz rocket, that fuel was going down and trying to come out, and that rocket was propelling upwards. So an equal and opposite reaction. Oh my goodness. And that is Newton's third law of motion. Rocket scientists out there. Okay, so now let's look at some more ways that this applies. So we are going to pull over some more experimental items that we have. Excellent. Okay. So you can see that we've got a tub of water here. I don't know how easy that is to see. But hopefully you can see it partly in there. So we've got a tub of water. We also have 2 cans, one that we've labeled small and one that we've labeled large. We're going to grab our fishing line from our experimentation earlier. It's just a multi-use purpose up here, isn't it? So we need that. We also need some scissors, and we need 2 different size nails. Now I have a small nail. I don't know how well you can see that, but let's see if you can see that. I have a small nail and a big nail is what we're going to call those. Now, you may get confused and think, oh, it has to do with the length of the nail. But it doesn't have to do with the length of the nail, does it? It has to do with the diameter of the nail. So I want a smaller diameter and a larger diameter nail. All right. And any nail that you can find around your house works just fine. But if you're pulling one on the wall that was hanging up a picture, make sure you check with Mom and Dad first. And Kyla. Kyla may have learned that the hard way. All right. So we are going to cut 2 lengths of fishing line. Now, you want to make sure for this experiment, you use a lower weight fishing line. We're using an 8-pound test. Just make sure it's not going to be a high pound test. That's a lower pound test. And then we're going to measure exactly, not really, just my arm span, which is approximately 3 feet. We're going to do that 1 time. And we're going to do that 1 more time. All right, Miss Kyla, are you ready? Yep. And cut that. Let's see, 1 more time. Excellent. Okay, so we have 2 strands of fishing line. Now we're going to make sure that the tabs on our pop can are straight up. And it doesn't matter what brand of pop can that you have. You'll just want a pop can. And then you are going to thread through the top part of the tab. If you can see that. We're going to thread that through. And then we're going to double knot it. We're going to do 1 knot. And 2 knots. Excellent. Okay. And Kyla's got the large, and I have the small. So now we're going to take our nail, and we are going to, now again, we know the circles on our side, but for this, it's going to kind of help us in directions for you. So Kyla, let's poke in as close as we can get to the bottom. Poke our straw in. Excellent. And then you're going to push it carefully to the right. We want to make sure that we're not ripping the can as we do it. And when we pull it out, we need to pull it out while it's pushed to the right. That's going to be very important. Okay, now I'm going to go to the opposite side of my circle, or the opposite side of my can. And I am going to poke it in again. And I'm going to push it to the right. All right, and then push it to the right. Excellent. And the bigger your nail, the more likely it is to rip. So be really careful. And then make sure you push it out while it is pushed to the right. Or pull it out, sorry, while it's pushed to the right. All right, now halfway in between, you're going to push it in again. And you're going to push it to the right. And then pull it out to the right. Okay, now I'm going to go halfway in between. And I'm going to, oh, now I'm having problems. I was like, that's awesome. All right, I'm going to push it in. And then I'm going to push it to the right. Now, this may be something that you need help with an adult. It may be something that you have to help an adult with. All right, so now let's see what happens. We're going to put our can inside the water. And we're going to put it in the water until we stop seeing bubbles come up. Okay, now we're going to set our cans up. And at the same time, Kyla and I are going to pull these cans out, okay? So, ready? On your mark, get set, go. Okay, so what direction are those cans spinning? They're spinning to the left, aren't they? And that water is coming out to the right. So let's put it back in. Now I want you to see which one, either the small, I have a small, or Kyla has a large, which one spins the fastest, and which one spins the slowest, which one spins for the longest, and which one spins for the least amount of time. You ready? On your mark, get set, go. So which one's spinning fast? The large one. The large nail hole can. And which one's spinning slow? The small hole. Now, which one didn't spin very long? The large hole. And which one spun the longest? The small hole. Okay, guys, what you just discovered, we talked about Newton's first law of motion, we talked about his third law of motion. You just discovered his second law of motion. And his second law of motion says that force equals mass times acceleration. So all that says, it's a lot of big words, isn't it? And all that means is the can that had the most amount of water going spun the fastest and created the biggest force. And when I go back to the moon and go on to Mars in the space launch system, NASA has got to think about that. We want our biggest thrust, and the space launch system is going to be our strongest rocket yet. Most powerful rocket, more powerful than the Saturn V. It's incredible. All right, so what you just created is a Pop Can's Heroes engine. And that goes back with Hero of Alexandria, which was about 1070 AD, so a long time ago. And he created this kettle. He put it underneath and filled it up with water. They had these little spigots that came out like this, and he had a fire underneath. And as that fire heated up, and it created steam inside of there, this kettle would spin. So as you can see, the concepts of rocketry have been around for a long time, even though it took us all the way until Sir Isaac Newton to start putting it into scientific principle. Well, gosh, guys, you are incredible rocket scientists today. You have discovered some incredible principles over this time that we've been together. And we've talked a little bit about this idea of the Space Launch System. So the Space Launch System, as you know, right now, we're going up on Soyuz, which are Russian modules. And Space Launch System, well, we'll actually get crew taxis first, going up on SpaceX Dragons. But then this is going to take us to the moon and beyond, possibly Mars, possibly who knows where. Well, guys, I have had just the best time of doing these demonstrations with you today. We do these demonstrations every single day, Monday through Friday, on our Facebook page. We go live at 10 a.m. on our NASA OKSG STEM Engagement Facebook page. And we hope you'll join us there. You have a chance, if you chime in on those Facebook Live moments, you have a chance to win some NASA stickers. We even have a NASA sticker that commemorates the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 and the fact that we're going back to the moon in 2024 and on to Mars. And Kyla, what's so interesting about us going back to the moon this time? All right. What's so interesting about it?
That we'll have to stop on the moon first.
Well, and that we're going to be taking a female. So
right.
Who knows who that could be? That could be you. Well, you guys have a great day. I hope you've had a fantastic time with us. And until we see you next time, race you to the moon.
Bye.
Bye.
Good morning, Oklahoma students. My name is Carly, and I am going to work with you today on some reading skills so you all can become great readers. If you have a paper and a marker or a crayon at your house, go run and grab that now. I am so excited to work with you today. We will learn a new sound. We will sound out new words and practice spelling them, and we will learn some new sight words. While some of our friends are still grabbing their paper and their writing tool, let's talk about the calendar and the weather today. Does anyone know what day of the week it is? That's right, it's Monday. If today is Monday, what was yesterday? That's right, yesterday was Sunday. So if today is Monday, what will tomorrow be? That's right, tomorrow will be Tuesday. So today is Monday. Does anybody know what month it is? That's right, this month is April. Today is Monday, April 13th, and the year is 2020. Let's write that on our board. Help me practice spelling Monday. The first letter is M. M-O-N-D-A-Y. Monday, comma, April starts with an A. A-P-R-I-L. And the date is the 13th. 1, 3 makes 13. So today is Monday, April 13th. Very good. Let's talk about the weather. What is the weather like at your house? Go look out the window. I'm standing next to a window at my house, and I see that it's kind of sunny, but it's kind of cloudy. So I'm going to draw the sun with a cloud, and my sun will be green today. We call this weather partly cloudy. Is it warm outside at your house? No, it's not very warm at my house. I would say that it's cool. It's not too hot, but it's not too warm. Let's practice spelling cool. You spell cool, C-O-O-L. Not too hot, but not too warm. Great job, everyone. My favorite kind of weather is when it's warm and sunny and we can go swimming. And now we're going to swim into our phonics lesson. We are going to start by breaking down words into their parts using finger taps. The first word I'll do for you, then we'll try some together. Our first word is classroom. Classroom. Watch how I use my fingers to break up every sound in the word classroom. K, O, A, S, U, M. Classroom. Let's try that one together. Classroom. K, O, A, S, U, M. Great job. Let's try another word. Blackbird. I saw a blackbird in the tree. Blackbird. Remember to use your fingers to break up each sound. B, O, A, K, B, D. Very good. Blackbird. The next word is dragon. I like to read stories about fire-breathing dragons. Dragon. D, A, G, N. Great job, everyone. Let's do oatmeal. I ate oatmeal for breakfast this morning. Oatmeal. O-T-M-E-O. Oatmeal. How about cardboard? Most boxes are made of cardboard. C-A-R-D-B-O-R-D. Cardboard. Well done. Okay, let's try painting. Have you ever made a painting in art class? Painting. P-A-N-T-E-N. Painting. Great job. This will be everyone's favorite. Pancake. I love to have a pancake with my breakfast. Pancake. P-A-N-K-A-K. Pancake. Great job. How about backpack? I carry my backpack to school. Backpack. B-A-K-P-A-K. Backpack. Good job. Let's try hometown. Your hometown is where you grow up. Hometown. O-M-T-O-N. Hometown. Last one. Beavers. A beaver is an animal that lives near water, and they build houses and dams out of sticks and mud. Beavers. B-E-V-E-R-S. Beavers. Great job, everyone. Anytime you learn a new word, you can practice using your fingers to break up each sound in the word. Okay, now we're ready to learn a new sound. Today, we are going to learn the long E sound. The long E sound says E. Everyone try that with me and say E. E. That's right. Say it one more time. E. Very good. Okay. These words have the long E sound at the beginning. I will say the word, and then you can repeat after me. Listen for the E sound in the following words. Eat. Now you try. Say, eat. Great. What about the word each? Say, each. Ear. Say, ear. Great job. The last word is easy. Say, easy. Great job, everyone. Did you hear the long E sound at the beginning of ear, each, and easy, and eat? I did too. Now we'll practice saying some words that have the long E sound in the middle of the word. Listen carefully and repeat after me. Let's try sheep. Say sheep. Good. Let's try bead. Say bead. Great job. Let's try deer. Say deer. And let's try meal. Say meal. Great job, everyone. Did you hear the long E sound in the middle of our words sheep, bead, deer, and meal? Yeah, me too. Can you tell if E is a vowel or a consonant? That's right. E is a vowel. Now I am going to say a lot of words. Some of the words are going to have E as the middle sound, and some will not. I want you to stand up in front of your TV, and we're going to do I'm a Star. To do I'm a Star, you crouch down with your hands on your knees, and then when you hear a word with the long E sound, you'll jump up with your hands in the air so you look like a star. If I say a word with no long E sound, you'll put your hands on your head. Okay? So if you hear the long E, jump up like a star. And if you do not hear the long E, put your hands on your head. Great, we're ready. The first word is seed. Seed. Did you hear the long E in seed? Great! Jump up like a star. You'll try the next word on your own. What about the word shop? Shop. Shop does not have a long E sound, so put your hands on your head. Great job. The next word is feet. Feet. Feet has a long E sound. Your next word is meat. Meat. Meat also has a long E sound. Great job. Okay, your next word is bed. Bed. Bed does not have a long E sound. The next word is team. Team. Jump up like a star because team has the long E sound. Let's do two more words, everyone. How about the word ship? Ship. Ship does not have a long E sound. That's right. Your last word is seat. Seat. Seat has a long E sound. Great job, everyone. You can have a seat now. If you have your paper and your marker, now we are going to use it. So, we are going to practice writing the long E sound. This can be spelled with two E's side by side. Let's practice writing it on the board. E, E. If you don't have a marker or a piece of paper, Practice writing E in the air with your finger like this. E, E. What sound does long E make? That's right. It says E. Let's write the long E sound 2 more times and say E when we write it. I'll do it with you. E. One more time. E. Great job, everyone. Okay. So this sound is really interesting because what if I only had one E? If I cover up this E and I only have one E. E by itself says like egg or elephant. But when you add another E, the sound changes to long E and it says E. That's right. That's different from other letters. For example, if I wrote one F, what sound does that make? That's right. F says F. But if I write 2 Fs, does the sound change from 1 F to 2 Fs? No, it still says F. So E is special because it changes when you add a second E. Okay, now we will practice sounding out a few words with E in them. The first word is queen. Let's sound it out together twice. Qu, E, N, queen. Qu, E, N, queen. Very good. The next word is feet. Eat. Eat. Feet. Great job. The next word is green. 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 Great work. How about keep? K-E-P. K-E-P. Keep. Good work. Let's try sleep. S-O-E-P. S-O-E-P. Sleep. Very good. The next word is free. F-er-E. F-er-E. Free. Great job. Okay. How about cheek? Ch-e-k. Notice that CH says ch together. Ch-e-k. Cheek. Very good. Wow, you guys have done such a great job today. We talked about the days of the week and the month and the year, and we talked about the weather. Then we broke down words into parts using our finger taps. We learned a new sound, long E, and we sounded out all of these words with long E in them. Would you guys like to try a spelling test to see how much we have learned today? Great. If you have your paper and pencil, go ahead and grab that now again, and we'll practice spelling some words. If you don't have a paper and pencil, practice writing the words in the air. We'll go over them after we're done. The first word is queen. A queen lives in a castle. Queen. The next word is feet. I wear socks on my feet. Feet. Let's spell green. Green is my favorite color. Green. How about keep? Let's spell keep. I like to keep a book by my bed. Let's spell sleep. I like to go to sleep early. Great. Now let's check our spelling words. I'll hold up the word cards and spell them out loud. Be sure to check your work carefully. The first spelling word was queen. Q-U-E-E-N. Queen. Your next spelling word was feet. F-E-E-T. Feet. The next word was green. G-R-E-E-N. Green. Then we had keep. K-E-E-P. Keep. The last spelling word was sleep. S-L-E-E-P. Sleep. Did anyone get all 5 words right? How about 4 words? Great job, you guys. Hang on to that word list and you can give yourself a spelling quiz whenever you want to practice. It is almost time for us to be done for today. I am so proud of all the work that you did today. And next week, come back on Monday because we're going to learn a whole new sound. We're going to practice more spelling and we'll practice sounding out more new words. Before we go, let's all take a minute to stretch. Stretch up to the sky. Bend over and touch your toes. And stand up. Twist side to side. And then just shake out your wiggles and get ready for the rest of your day. Have a great Monday, everyone.
Hi, students. My name is Sarah Bowen. You can call me Miss Sarah, and I'm really excited to be here with you in your home today to do some art. So we're going to be doing what I like to call mindful doodling. And I'm going to show you some little examples here. Isn't that fun? So what you're going to need as far as supplies go is, if you have an index card at home, maybe a flash card, maybe you use it for drawing, a little card like this will be perfect, because then afterwards we can actually send it as a postcard to one of our friends that we're missing. If you don't have a card like this, you could also use a piece of printer paper from the printer or a piece of notebook paper out of your school supplies. You also will need either a colored pencil. I'm going to be using my favorite color with this super cool dog on it here, or a crayon. So go ahead and go grab your supplies and get ready, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am a local artist here in Tulsa. I run Tiny Things by Bowen, and I normally work with polymer clay. So that's the kind of clay that you cook in the oven. And maybe I've been out to your classes for the artists in the schools, and we've made some tiny things, or maybe you've come to one of my workshops. I'm going to show you a couple of the itty bitty things that I make. Here's a teeny tiny cupcake and a teeny tiny piece of pizza. That one's one of my favorites. So if you can imagine, sometimes working so teeny tiny can be kind of frustrating. Do you guys feel frustrated sometimes? Kind of like, it's so annoying. Or like, things are so different. Or I'm feeling really nervous. And so what we're going to do today is practice some things that might help us calm down a little bit and feel a little bit better. So if everybody has their supplies ready, the very first thing we're going to learn how to do is called belly breathing. So that means we all breathe all the time without thinking about it. It's super easy. You're super good at it. Way to go. But we're going to learn how to belly breathe. So everybody put your hand on your tummy. And you're going to take a really big, long, slow breath through your nose. Ready? And now let it out slow through your mouth. Did you feel your tummy go out and then back in? Let's try it 2 more times. Ready? Big breath in. Good job. 1 more time. Wonderful. Okay, so while we're doing our art, we're going to practice our belly breathing, and that's going to help you feel nice and calm. Sometimes if you're really nervous, you can feel your heart go bump, 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 bump really, really fast. And if that happens and you feel like, whoa, I don't like that, I want to calm down, you can put your hand on your tummy and breathe all the way into your belly like that and all the way back out. And the slower you do it, the more calm you're going to feel. So you could use this for art or just in everyday life, because things are looking a little bit different, and sometimes that's hard, but that's okay. So if you have a piece of notebook paper or a piece of printer paper like this, we're going to fold it 2 times so that we can have a small workspace. So you're going to fold it this way, like the hamburger way, from top to bottom. Fold it 1 time. Good. Now 1 more time this way. Again, that's like a hamburger fold. So now you have a little piece of paper that's almost the same size as our note card here. Okay? So now I'm going to turn my camera around so that you can see my workstation. All right. Here is my card. So the very first thing that we are all going to do together is to draw a border around the outside of our card like this. And we're going to do it while we use our belly breaths. Okay, so we're going to put your pencil on one side. You're going to take a big deep breath in, and then we're going to move it to the next corner. Are you ready? Now draw really nice and slow and let your breath out at the same time. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn my card. I think that's easiest. We're going to start up here at the corner. Take a big breath. And slowly see if you can keep your breath coming out the whole time. Make it all the way down. Good. All right, ready? We got 2 more left. Big breath in. Good job. All right, 1 more. Make this your biggest breath yet. Ready? Maybe let a little sigh out. And there we go. We have a pretty border all the way around our paper. So the next thing that we're going to do, I'm going to show you our examples again, is to draw a squiggly line on our paper. And part of this mindful doodling is that we're not thinking about our plans for what kind of picture we're going to draw or what kind of shapes we're going to use. We're just going to go with the flow. So on this one, can you see in there that line? That was my starting line for this one. So this one is like squiggly. And this one here is a straight line. It goes like here and here and here. So you decide if you would like a squiggly line or a straight line. I think for mine, I'm going to do some squiggles. So remember, we got to keep our belly breathing going while we're drawing. So we're going to do it nice and slow. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. It can be totally different, but keep breathing. Ready? Going nice and slow and doing whatever comes to you. Your lines can cross over. That's okay. They can be little squiggles or big squiggles. We want to stay inside of our border that we drew and end right along that line. I think that I am happy with my squiggle that I made. Are you happy with your squiggle? Good. Okay. So now let's look at all of these shapes that are in here. Do you recognize any? Do you see these triangles? How about these are circles inside of circles with a little dot? We've got over here, I like these, they kind of look like waves. Those are fun. Oh, did you see the leaves? They look just like leaves outside. We've got a checkerboard. That could be like a picnic blanket. See, all kinds. Let's look at this one real quick. We've got, ooh, you like that flower there? That's a cool one. We've got circles. I think maybe that's how I'll start on mine. This one, I like to call this one mermaid scales. And what do you think this one is? It could be maybe a sun or a sunflower. I wonder how we're going to fill up our page. So for you guys at home, if you want to do the same patterns that I'm doing, you can do that. But then you can do these anytime you feel like it. Even on like a teeny tiny piece of paper, you could be like, you know what? I'm going to do some mindful doodling. And you could just play around and use all kinds of patterns. But if you want to copy mine for this time, that is totally okay. So I think I'm going to start in this space right here. Do you see that each one of these is its own space? So how many spaces does your card have? Mine has 1, and it goes, look, all the way around there. 2, 3, little bitty one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's another tiny one, 9, 10, and 11. So I have 11 different designs that I'm going to fill up my paper with. I think I'll start over here. It goes all the way down there. I think I'm going to start with the circles. That's a fun one that we can all do. So I think I'm going to start by filling in some pretty big circles. And see how I'm not going past my border there? Are you guys making some circles too? Are you remembering your belly breathing? Let's all take a big deep breath in while we're drawing. Ready? Good job. Doesn't that feel nice? Kind of let a little sigh out. Let's do another one. Good job. All right. See how I have filled up my space with these circles? But look how much room there is in between all my circles. Do you see how full this paper is? I think that we could add some even tinier circles in there. So I'm going to go in next to my big circles and put some little ones in. And then if you wanted to, you could turn your circles into something. What do you think we could make our circles? Pizza? Ooh, I like that. We could make whole pizzas with it. Smiley faces, peace signs. So many options. All right. I like my circle spot. Okay, let's move on. I think, which one should I do next? I think I'll do this tiny guy here. I think that I'm going to put in just some lines, kind of at an angle there instead of straight up and down. So I'm just going to put some lines in. So now it looks like I've got little lines in there. And if I go back in and I color one, I leave one blank. I color one, I leave one blank. And I color one. So now I have a pattern that I made. And you could make all kinds of patterns in here. It goes orange, white, orange, white, orange. Awesome. All right, my next one here. I'm going to do this guy. Let's see. I think I'm going to do some squiggles in here. Just like that. Maybe it looks like waves. Maybe it looks like some curly hair. There we go. Kind of looks like a little bit of an Easter egg. And you know what? I think I'm going to put some squiggly lines going horizontal also. There we go. Can you think of a way to color that in as a pattern? Okay. We could color it in later. We can add all kinds of stuff as we go. But I think I'm going to move on to my next space. And I think that I'm going to put, do you see these swirlies here? I'm going to put some swirlies in there. So we make those by starting to make a circle like this, but then we keep going and make like a little snail shell inside. Like that. Can you fill up a space with those? And I like to make them where they're connected to each other. Maybe it looks like some vines or some plants. Have you ever seen plants that have little twirly stems that come off of them? I saw some in my yard just yesterday. All right, is everybody remembering to take nice deep breaths? Let's do a couple. Ready? And are you going in through your nose? We're doing more. Wonderful. Do you feel like your breathing is helping you feel nice and calm? All right, let's check out these swirlies. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our spaces done. So 11 minus 4 means that we must have 7 left. Let's see. I think, I really love these mermaid scales like this. Let's learn how to do that. So we're going to make a half circle like that. And then we're going to go right in the middle of our half circle and make another half circle going off to that side. That's to our right. Now we're going to do one to our left, like that. Now right in the middle, we're going to put another half circle. Do you see the pattern that we're making? Here's another one over here. So where does my next one go? It's going to go right in the middle of these two. Good. There's one on the side. I only got to draw half of it because my line went through there, but that's okay. We have to use our imagination to think of where it would go. Let's see, I got a few left to fill in here. Drawing nice and slow and remembering our breathing. There we go. Now I have a whole spot filled in with those little mermaid scales, or fish scales, or maybe if you like lizards, maybe it's lizard scales. And I like to put in some little lines. And you see how I'm not really thinking too hard about where stuff is going. I'm not stressing about how perfect my picture is going to turn out. I'm just kind of going with the flow and drawing whatever I feel like it. So see my little lines? They're not perfect. And that is just fine. Can you hear your pencil when you work? Just like you can hear your breath? It's pretty nice to listen to. All right, there's my mermaid scales. I think those look pretty cool. Which one should I fill in next? Let's see, this one looks like he's ready for some design. Let's do some up and down lines. What's another word for up and down lines? We call those vertical. They go this way, like that. So we're gonna do some vertical lines, just like that. What do you think we could fill that in with? There's still a lot of white space. What if we put littler lines right in the middle? See how they're not touching the edges? There we go. That looks pretty well filled in. Okay, how about this one here? I think my next favorite shape next to circles is triangles. So I'm going to do some triangles. And tri means 3, so our triangle has 1, 2, 3 sides. I wonder what shape you guys are drawing at home right now. And I wonder what colors you picked. I picked orange. I think, see how just like on our big circles, we can fit some little ones? You think I can fit some tiny triangles in there? Is there space? Let's see. I'm going to try. Oh yeah, those fit really well. And what could we turn our triangles into when we were done? You know what they make me think of is Doritos. I really like Doritos. How could I go in there and make them look more like Doritos? I think I'm going to put little bitty dots in there to be like the delicious cheese covering. There we go. Cool. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces left. What about, do you like these zigzags here? I'm going to add some zigzags. You see how this line is thicker than the skinny line? So we're going to do a thick line, skinny line, thick line. And I'm going to do it in this big one here. Let's leave lots of space for our zigzags. So I think I'm going to start right in the middle. Just like that. And I think I'm going to make that one my thick line. So I'm just going to color it in a little bit and make it big. Yeah. Okay, so next to our thick line, we're going to have a little line. Okay, and then next to our little line, what do we do here? What's next in our pattern? Yeah, thick line. Good. I love the sound of pencils coloring. I think we have room for one more little line in there. Then I'm going to come to this side. This kind of looks like a hot air balloon to me. I wonder what you guys can see in your pictures. So if my pattern is little, thick, little, this one should be thick. Yeah. Ooh, can I fit one more right there? I think so. I'll make it little, like that. Yeah. Okay, we got 3 spots left. I'm going to save this little bitty baby one for last. How about right here? I think I'm going to put a flower. You guys like drawing flowers? I'm going to draw it with a circle. And then I'm going to put my petals on. And I didn't think, oh, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals. Nope. I just went with the flow and saw how many I could fit. So now what are we going to do to fill these blank spaces? I think I'm going to just make my flower lines over and over again. See how they're kind of coming up off of the petals? And we'll just fill that space like that. And you know what? I think I'm going to color in the inside of my flower. It's got the pollen for the bees. There we go. All right, now we have this great big space. What do I want to do there? I think that I'm going to make some lines radiate out of the corner. That means that they all start from one spot and then they expand out. So I'm going to start mine from right here. And I'm just going to put one right in the middle. There's one going out. And I'm going to start back in my corner again and go out there and out there and out there. Wow, that one went so far. And now I'm going to have to kind of use my imagination to see where it would come out of the side there. There's another one. And here's my last line. Nice. So how could we fill those in? I think I'm going to put some little dots in between my lines. Just like that. And maybe if you don't want to put dots, you think, oh, I have enough circles already. You could put little lines. If you know how to draw stars, you could do stars, or you could do hearts. You see on, let's see, where are they? This one here, I have some hearts. And I bet that you guys are all such wonderful little artists that you're going to think of things that I didn't even think of. Let's get a few more belly breaths in there before we're done. So ready? Even while you're drawing, you can feel your belly get bigger when you breathe in. Ready? Good job. Okay, all right, so now it comes down to what are we going to put in this tiny little guy here? I think, you see this one? It's got a combination of squiggles with little bitty dots on it. I think I'm going to see how tiny I can get. How tiny can you draw? Let's see. There's a tiny squiggle. See it in there? And now I'm going to put a few little lines coming off the squiggle like that. All right, look at that. So if you would like to continue drawing this, I think the things that I would do to it to make it even more full and even less white space, I think maybe I would go in and color in some of my little circles. Maybe I would go in and add some lines on my flower. You could really draw on this for a really long time if you wanted to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can turn this, if you made it on an index card, you can turn this into a postcard to send somebody you miss. Can you think of somebody that you wish you could go play with, or maybe your grandparents, you didn't get to visit them over the weekend? Well, people love getting mail. So what you can do is turn your index card over, and you're going to draw a line right down the middle. And right here is where your parents, or maybe you already know how, to write the address of who it is that you miss. Who do you want to send it to? So I'm going to write the name of my best friend, Jasmine. There's that. And then I would put her address right here. And I'm going to draw a line where I would like to put my stamp. So stamps are really important. if you want to send it in the mail. Okay, I'm going to flip you back around so I can say bye. So I'm going to take this, and on this side, I am going to write a note to my best friend Jasmine and tell her how much I miss her and how I can't wait to hang out. And I hope that you can do that too. If you ended up making it on a piece of note or a piece of paper, just put that in an envelope and write your address on the envelope, and you have like a lot of space to write a note to your friend. So I hope that you can communicate with your friends. You can use belly breathing to feel nice and calm whenever you might feel stressed out, and you can use mindful doodling to do something fun no matter where you are. You could always find a pencil and something to draw on and make a tiny little masterpiece. So thank you so much for crafting with me. Have fun at your home and be safe. Bye.
Welcome to Movement Monday with the YMCA. I'm so glad you joined me today. My name is Tracy, and I have created a boot camp countdown for you today. So let me tell you a little bit about it. I picked 6 strength exercises that we will perform, and then a cardio blast after the round. We will begin with 10 reps with each. then a 30-second cardio blast. Then we're going to stick with even numbers, so we'll do 8 and then the cardio blast, then 6 and 4 and so on. If we can complete that in our 20-minute boot camp today, then we will go back up to the odd numbers. So let's get started, and we're going to warm up first, all right? It's important to warm your body up and get those muscles moving. We don't want any injuries. Swinging your hands side by side. We're going to go into a march, right? Bring those knees up a little bit higher. Good job. Warming up and cooling down is always super important. All right, let's go over a squat. I want to teach you a proper squat form because if you sit down and your knees are forward, you might put too much strain on your knees. So you're pretending that you're looking for a chair behind you. Your weight is in your heels. All right, now we're just warming up, so don't go down too low. Good job. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and back to marching. Ready? Get those knees up a little bit higher. Good job. All right, we're going to kick with our feet. How far can you get those arms swinging? And we're going into a 15-second jumping jacks. Let's go. Good job. Halfway there. All right, 15-second jump rope. Double dutch. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your heart should be pounding a little bit. Your muscles are all warmed up. Let's get started. Our first exercise are push-ups. Let's talk about push-ups. You want to make sure that your shoulders are over your hands. You don't want your hands above your shoulders. That puts too much pressure on your shoulders. You can do a push-up in a plank, or you can modify it on your knees. You might be able to do a plank. See if you can do the first one with just a plank. Ready? 10, count with me. 9, 8. It's okay to do modification if you need to. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You can do it. 2, one more. Oh, awesome. All right. Back to our squats. Ready? 10, count with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. How low can you go? 2, super low. Awesome. All right. So the next exercise, we're working our core. We're going to go back into a plank. Okay? Modification can be on your knees if you need to, but I want you to try at least the first 2 in a plank. You're going to go down to your forearms, planking, and you're going to rotate your hips. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, 5, 6. If you need to modify, you can do 1 knee on the ground. 9, 10. Awesome. You should be able to feel that all in this area. All right, chair dips. We're gonna work on our arms. The proper form is to try to keep your backside close to the end of the chair. You don't have to go down too far. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. How about one leg? 4, 3, 2, 1. I gave you a little challenge there. I know I did. But you got to have fun with it, right? Okay. Next is alternating lunges. So we're going to go forward with our right foot, then our left foot. That's 1, 2, 3. Your legs are going to start to burn here in a little bit. 4. That's what we want. 5. 6. 4 more. 7. 8. Come on. You can do it. I know it's burning. 9. Last one. You got this. Whew. Good job. You feel your heart beating? That's what we want. We want to keep moving. All right. The 6th strength exercise, alternating V-ups. You're going to lay down. We're going to work on our abdominal wall. We're going to come up, touching our leg. 2, 3, 4, halfway. I know this is tough, but you're going to get strong. 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. You can't lay there though. Got to get back up. All right. So we're going to do a 30-second cardio blast, and we're going to do my favorite. We're going to do jumping jacks. Ready, go. 30 seconds. Are you playing music? Music always makes exercise a lot of fun. I usually play my music super loud. Good. Are you breathing heavy like me? Working those lungs, pumping that blood. Good job. Done. Woo. All right, take a walk around a circle. Now we're going to do everything again 8 times. All right, take a deep breath. Blow out through your mouth. Exhale. Good job. Let's get going. Push-ups 8 times. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Did you do them all on a plank? It's difficult, I know, but you get there. Squats. Ready? 8, 7, 6. Count with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Plank hip dips. Let's go. On your forearm. Both forearms. Modification is 1 knee down. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5. Are you shaking? 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Chair dips. Let's go backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh yeah, 1 leg. All right. Alternating lunges. Here we go. Right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bet you're glad we're not doing 10 right now. 6, 7, almost there. Awesome. Alternating V-ups. Back down on the ground. Good job. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I gave you 2 extra. All right. Be nice. Be nice. All right. Cardio blast. Let's do jump rope. Ready? 30 seconds and go. I don't know where my mind went right there. That's okay. You still got stronger. Halfway. So I went personal trainer, and some of my clients, I'll say, 1 more, and they go, no, I believe it's 5 more. Sometimes I make them do it because they're getting stronger. I want to see if they can do it. Done. Awesome. Take a walk in a circle. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. All right. What number are we on? 6. Ready? 6 push-ups. Here we go. Remember modification on your knees if you need to. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Squats. It's getting faster this time, isn't it? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you get low? We're going to try to go lower next time. All right. Plank, hip dips. Back on the ground. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to have a strong core at the end of this class. Chair dips. Right back here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your arms a little shaky. It means your muscles are getting stronger. All right, alternating lunges, beginning with the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more sets. 5, last one. You got it. All right, are we ready for our alternating V-ups? Back down on the ground. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I won't make you go extra this time. All right. All right, we're going to do high knee jog. If you need water at any time, make sure that your body's telling you that it needs to be hydrated. It's important to stop and drink a little bit of water. Ready? 30 seconds. Go. High knees. You know, you could do this boot camp a few times and challenge your parents or your siblings. See if they can get farther in the boot camp. You can in 20 minutes. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go get that water if you need to. Taking a walk around the room. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. All right, we're on number 4. This time it's going to go really fast. All right, are you ready? Push-ups, counting backwards. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Back down on the ground for plank. Hip dips. We're at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Back at the chair. I'm going to challenge you to do 2 on your right leg and 2 on your left leg. Ready? 1, 2, switch. 3, 4. Good job. All right. Alternating lunges. That was 2. You're halfway. Really proud of you today. Getting your work in. One more set. Let's do one more set. Awesome. Alternating V-ups. This is so good for your body. To stay moving every day. 2, 3, 1 more. 4. All right, cardio blast. All right, this is gonna be a fun. We're gonna do the skaters, all right? Ready, set, go. I always think this is fun. I like to go skiing in the mountains in the snow. I can pretend right now that I'm skiing, although I am looking forward to summer being here. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Awesome. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let's walk around. Also, a good tip is when your heart rate's going like it is right now, it's important to keep moving, because if you're not moving, you can kind of get lightheaded and dizzy. So your body keeps moving with your blood pumping really fast. So if you get done with sports practice or tag or whatever you're doing, keep your body moving. Okay, all right. So we're gonna go the super fast round. We're gonna do 2 of everything. And I wanna see how fast we can do it. Ready? Let's go. Push-ups. You can do 2 planks. 1. 2. Plank hip dips. 1. You can modify 1 knee down anytime you're in a plank position. Chair dips. 2 legs this time. Low. 2. Alternating lunges. These are sets, remember. 1, 2. Back to those V-ups on the ground. Ready? 2. Awesome. All right, cardio blast. We are going to go back to the jumping jacks. 30 seconds, go. I think next cardio blast, we should do jabs. I teach kickboxing too. It's so fun. It's my favorite class. All right, ready? Halfway there. Come on, you can do it. 10 more seconds. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay, remember, walking around. Take that circle around. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Slowing that breathing down. One more time. Good. All right, you did a great job. We're not done yet though. We're gonna go back up to odd numbers. Really proud of you. We got through that. We're gonna go back up to 9 push-ups. Ready? I know it's a challenge, but you can do it. Even if you have to go to modification, that's okay. I'll modify with you. Ready? 9, 8, 7, 6, count with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, back to squats. Can you make them 9 low squats? Ready? Remember, find a chair back here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Did you just tell me to get lower? 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, plank hip dips. Back down in a plank or modifying with your knee on your forearms. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. Who's sweating? Me. All right. Chair dips. Here we go. Backwards. Let's be on our left foot. Ready? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next round, we'll do it on our right foot. All right. We've got alternating lunges, starting with our right leg. 1, 2. Make sure you tuck that tailbone under. 3, 4, 5. Awesome. 6, I know it's hard, isn't it? 7, especially after we finish that 2. 8, one more. Ready? Woo. Oh, I'm almost ready for some water. All right. Now we're into alternating V-ups. Let's get this done. Ready? 1. We're doing this 9 times. On the 9th one, let's do a full V-up. 5. That means both legs up at the same time. 6, 7, 8. Both legs up. 9. Woo! Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to do jabs for 30 seconds, right? So it's jabbing this way, jabbing this way. Okay? 30 seconds. Ready? Go. Jab. Left jab. Right jab. The boxer shuffle. That's what we do when we're resting. It's 2 hops, jab, 2 hops, jab, 2 hops. 10 seconds. Done. All right. So we're on 7. I'll tell you what, we're almost done with boot camp time. Let's go down to 5. And then we're going to cool down and we're going to do some stretching. Ready? Let's do it. 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 squats. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plank hip dips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, chair dips. Remember, we are doing it with our right foot down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You feel that back there in your tricep? It's good for that. All right, alternating lunges. 1. Good. This is 3. 4. 5. All right, alternating V-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. All right, one more cardio blast. Let's say we're going to go here and touch. Ready? 30 seconds, go. So it's quick feet down, quick feet down. Good. Go at your own pace. Make sure your heart's staying up. Good. Good. 10 seconds. You can do this. You can do anything for 30 seconds, right? Done. All right. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Take a walk around the room. Work on that breathing. So it's always important to cool down and stretch. If you're still out of breath, just keep walking back and forth, moving your arms. Slowly though. We did a lot of legs today, so we're gonna start stretching there, right? You can hold onto the back of your chair if you don't have the balance to hold yourself, or you can challenge yourself without the chair. Tuck the tailbone under. You'll feel a bigger stretch right there in your quads. It's good to hold your stretches for 20 seconds. So if we get done with this boot camp, you might want to spend a little bit more time, stretching a little bit farther.
2 minutes.
All right, the left foot. You know, if you find that you don't have good balance, sometimes it's just your core. It's important. Pilates, yoga, all those exercises are good for you. If you don't feel the stretch, tuck your tailbone under. That would be good. All right. Now what I want you to do is we are going to stretch the hamstrings with me. Inhale, exhale. We're going to fold over. Knees are soft. Feel that stretch in your lower back and your hamstrings, in your glutes. Good. Let's stretch our arms. So glad that you came today and participated. Other arm. Come back next Monday. We're going to have another boot camp. We love to see you on Movement Monday with the YMCA. Keep moving and continue to stretch. You did a great job today. We'll see you. Keep moving from the YMCA.
how's it going? I'm Mr. Gusty. I'm from the Discovery Lab up in Tulsa, where I'm an educator, which means it's my job to teach you guys stuff and to make it as fun as I possibly can. So today, I want to do a little project with you and teach you a little bit about mechanical engineering. Some of you may be wondering, what does mechanical engineering mean? Mechanical engineering is a process of designing, building, and testing different machines. There's a lot of different jobs that these guys do. They help us design rockets, cars, even elevators and washing machines. So they need to know a lot about science and the way things will behave in order to make the best machines for us. So what we're going to do today is we're going to explore that by building a catapult. I'd like you guys to build along with me if you can. So what you need to do is you need to grab your materials. First thing you're going to want to get is you're going to get some popsicle sticks. If you don't have popsicle sticks, that's okay. You can substitute skewers, chopsticks. You can even substitute pencils, or even markers. Whatever you've got around the house, grab that. Now, the next thing you'll need is you're going to need some rubber bands. You're going to want to grab a handful of them. About 10 or so might be enough. The next thing you're going to need is you need a basket for your catapult. You could use a spoon. It could be plastic. It could be wood. And it could be metal. Use a spork. Or if you don't have one laying around, you can kind of make one. See how I've made one here? By taking the cup from an egg carton and taping it to my stick. You could make one by using the lid to an old bottle, an old yogurt cup or something like that, but it needs to be attached to a stick. The next thing I'm going to need, I need some ammunition to throw in my catapult. I'm going to be using ping pong balls today. If you don't have ping pong balls, that's okay. You guys could use some marshmallows if you got marshmallows. You could use cotton balls if you don't have cotton balls. Or, if you don't have any of those, you can just get a piece of newspaper, rip it up, and wad it into about a ping pong ball size shape. And that'll work for us. Now, the last thing I need something to shoot my catapult at. I'm using cups today. You could use paper cups, or you could use plastic cups. Just get the ones that won't break, okay, guys? So, I'm going to use those as my targets. So, I want you guys to go grab your supplies so you can build with me. And while you're doing that, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about catapults and the science behind what we're doing. So, a catapult is a machine that stores energy. Now, that means that the energy was in one form and we changed it so we could use it later. If you guys have ever used a battery, you've seen stored energy that then you can plug into a clock or a remote, and then you can use it to do work. Catapults are a machine that's been used around the world. They are used to lob giant rocks. So if you had a castle you're trying to take down, a catapult was a pretty good idea because you could chunk rocks from way far away, pretty heavy ones too. Nowadays, we use catapults still, believe it or not. The most common thing we use them for would be launching off of aircraft carriers. So instead of launching the rocks, they pull back and they launch an F-16. So the reason why a catapult works is because of potential and kinetic energy, which now I'm going to explain with this guy right here. Right now, he has no energy. But I'm going to add some energy system by pushing down on him. So when I push down, see his little springy part gets scrunched up. So that energy of me pushing down gets stored as potential energy. Now, whenever I let go, he hops up. So he turns that stored or potential energy into kinetic energy or energy in motion. The more energy I store, the harder I push him down, the taller he jumps up. So that's how we're going to use stored and kinetic energy to launch something. Hopefully you guys have grabbed supplies and you're ready to build a catapult with me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a wedge for my catapult. A wedge is going to be something that's going to hold things apart. I'm going to do that by grabbing a bunch of my popsicle sticks. I've got 6 popsicle sticks right here. And then I'm going to take my rubber bands. I'm going to wrap them around. I want to wrap around both ends. And I want to wrap them around pretty tight because I don't want this guy to move. You can see how I'm wrapping them super duper tight. And if you guys didn't have popsicle sticks, if you had something else that's pretty thick, well, that'd be fine too. For instance, if you guys found markers and you wanted to use something like a big, thick highlighter, well, if you look, most guys are pretty close to the same thickness, so I don't even need rubber bands for this guy. He's ready to go. All right, I've got my wedge made. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 more of my popsicle sticks. Or you can grab your pencils or your pens, whatever you're using right there. I'm going to get another rubber band. This one I'm going to wrap only on one end. I'm not going to wrap it super tight. I'm going to wrap it fairly tightly, just a couple times around it, just so he kind of holds on right there. So you can see I've got those guys wrapped around like that, or I can pull them apart a little bit and make kind of a V shape right there. Now, the next step is I'm going to have to take my wedge and shove it in between these two sticks. And if you wrap it too tight, it's really hard to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in perpendicularly. What perpendicular means that they go at a right angle to each other, kind of like the corners of a square, or it's going to look a little bit like a plus sign. See that right there? This guy goes sideways, this guy goes up and down. So I'm going to spread them open a little bit, then I'm going to stick my wedge all the way down in there nice and tightly. Now, I don't want my wedge to move, so this part is a little bit tricky. I have to grab another rubber band while holding this guy in between. I'm going to wrap around. And this one, I'm going to do it kind of an X shape. So I'm going to take and I'm going to twist him around so that way he goes in between all around, because I want him to hold my wedge in there. Wrap it around the front, wrap it around the back. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, it'll still turn out great. I've made 100 of these and I've never made a perfect one. So now I've got it wrapped around like that. Can you guys see how that went right there? So now this rubber band holds my wedge in shape right here. So now you guys can see this rubber band right here, whenever I push down on it, it wants to open up a little bit, but then it wants to snap back. That's going to be my stored energy that then can be released. Now it's time to attach the basket. So if you guys were using your cup on the end of the stick, using your spoon, whatever, it's time to grab that guy. Now to do this one, I usually take one rubber band and I wind it around a little bit, not too tight. I want to be able to pull him just a little bit, because then I'll be able to take and stick this guy. See how I'm sticking him through those little rubber band parts I made right there to make him get nice and snug on there. So now he's held really nice and tightly right there. Can you see how now he's wrapped on right there? And this is a part where if you wanted to, you could use some tape other than rubber bands, but you try to make it a little bit simple. So this guy right here looks pretty good. So let's see now. So if I put him down right here, and I push him down, you can see that energy gets stored. Then if I let go, he flops up like that. So I think it's time to test this guy and see how well he works. So I'm going to stack up some cups over here. Well, let's get a couple of them. And you guys can stack them up however you want. I'm going to do a pyramid, I think, of about 6 cups. I think that, you know what? Let's do 7. Put the guy right there. All right, so now I'm going to grab my ammunition, my ping pong ball right here, and now I'm going to line him up. Make sure he's pointing towards my cups. And I don't want to get my fingers in the way, because trust me, this hurts when it whacks you in the fingers. Hold it down nice and tight. Store that energy, and then let it go. Whoops. Doesn't look like it went the right way. Might have to tune her in a little bit more. Pull it back, and then too much energy on that one. So now you can see it takes a little bit of testing to get it to work just right. So you guys work on yours right there, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about why this guy works. So we have to talk about a very famous scientist by the name Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was a guy who came up with 3 different laws of the way things move. He said that an object at rest will stay at rest until acted upon by a force, and an object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon by a force. My catapult right now, he is at rest, so he's not going to move until I act upon it. Whenever I push down on him, he'll store that energy. Then my ball will move until it hits something else. The second part of what he said was that the more energy that you put into it, the more force, the faster things will move. So if I move it down just a little bit, he barely moves at all. When I push it down all the way, I add more energy, and he launches up a lot higher. Now, the next thing that he said was his third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So whenever I push down, this rubber band pushes back up against me. So every time I push down, there's something else wanting to push back up. So those would be Newton's 3 laws. Hopefully you guys have had a lot of fun building your catapults with me today. I know I am about to go outside and test this guy right here, because I have a feeling that I can get this all the way across the neighbor's fence, no problem. So let's go over what we learned today. A mechanical engineer is a person who designs, builds, and tests different machines Potential energy would be energy that's stored inside of the system. Kinetic energy would be an object in motion or moving. Whenever I fire my ball, the more energy I put into it, the further it goes. So let's see now. Use a little bit tuning in, I think. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here at Discovery Lab. If you guys want to join us next week, we'll be here at the same station on the same time at 11 a.m. And hopefully you guys have fun tinkering and creating. Have a great day, and we'll see y'all next time. I've been Mr. Dusty.
everyone. My name is Hassiel. My friends call me Hassie, and I am super excited to be here today because I get to talk to you about one of my absolute favorite topics, emotions. Why do you think emotions are important? We all experience a wide range of emotions throughout the day, but why are they important? Why should they matter? Emotions impact and influence how we act, how much we pay attention to things, how well our memory works, the way that we learn, and even the decisions that we make. That is why it is important for all of us to recognize how we feel, what we're thinking, what's important to us, and how it's impacting our behavior. This is what we call being self-aware. We need to make sure that we're checking in with ourselves. How do I feel right now? A tool that we can use to recognize our emotions is called the mood meter. You'll see that my home mood meter is behind me on this wall. And today I will teach you how to make your own mood meter at home. The mood meter helps us grow what we call our social and emotional skills. An acronym that we can use, which is an abbreviation or a shorter way to remember things by using the first letter of each word, is ruler. Just like a ruler that we use to measure things in math, we can also use an acronym, ruler, that stands for each step that we need to take to be more self-aware. R for recognizing our emotions. U for understanding why we feel the way we do. L for labeling and describing our emotions. E for expressing our emotions. And finally, the last R, regulating emotions. It's important to remember that all emotions are acceptable. We tend to like to categorize things as good or bad or positive or negative, but all emotions are providing us information with things that we're perceiving in our environment and how that is affecting us. So really, all we need to do is learn how to manage them and understand them in an effective way. The mood meter focuses on two parts of what makes up an emotion. The first one is energy. So depending on how much energy we're feeling, that is going to affect the way that we feel at a particular moment. So energy is the first thing that it measures. And the second thing is what we call pleasantness. How pleasant or unpleasant are you feeling? So if you remember from maybe a math class or a geometry class, the x-axis, which is the horizontal line right here, this is the pleasantness. And this might be too small for you to see, but this right here says pleasantness. And then the y-axis, the vertical line, shows the energy. And I wrote it down here on a piece of paper. So thinking about how much energy you're feeling on a particular day, where this is low, so down here is low, and up here is high. So first you can ask yourself, what is my energy level? Do I have a lot of energy, or do I feel a little bit more on the downside? And you can kind of try to quantify it. And the way that I did my mood meter, and I'll take this off the wall so that you can see it a little bit closer. I happen to have construction paper in my house of all the different colors. So you can either use paint if you have that available and just paint a piece of paper in different colors, or you can use construction paper if you have that available. And what I did was create a little grid. So I did, since we're doing from low to high energy, low would be -5 and super high would be +5. And so you have to have enough space to do -5 to +5. And so I used my ruler to measure out the little spaces, and that is what I did for each of the colors. So for each of the 4 colors. So I'll paste it back up on the wall. But you can do this with any piece of paper, any colors that you have. You can get creative if you have any art supplies to make it. So we already talked about the energy and the pleasantness and the y-axis and the x-axis and what that represents. But what do each of the colors represent? Since there's 4 different colors, we call that a quadrant. And so starting out with the top one, with the red quadrant. So what emotions are kind of high in energy and high in unpleasantness? So those emotions are things like when you're feeling angry or when you're feeling frustrated or maybe anxious. Those emotions would be on the red. And then on the blue quadrant, just underneath it, those are the emotions that are sometimes unpleasant, but they're lower in energy. And so some examples of those are maybe when you're feeling bored or when you're feeling sad, or maybe you're feeling like you're in despair. All of those things fall under the blue. And then on the green quadrant, right next to those are the emotions that are pleasant and low in energy. So things like when you're feeling calm, like after meditating, for example, or if you're feeling tranquil or serenity, or even if you're just content, those kinds of emotions fall under the green quadrant. And then the yellow quadrant, last but not least, those are the emotions that are pleasant and high in energy. So think about emotions like excitement or joy, or when you're feeling very, very energetic, when you're elated about something. Those are the things that fall in the yellow quadrant. And so thinking about the different emotions, think about what your response is when someone asks you, how are you doing? Usually the things that we respond are things like, oh, I'm doing okay, or oh, I'm doing fine, or maybe I'm doing bad, or I'm happy. But the more we pay attention to things like that, the more we realize that we rely on the same words that don't really explain specifically how we're doing. Like being fine is kind of like a vague, like, well, why are you feeling fine? And so we encourage people to ask themselves throughout the day, like, how am I feeling right now? And why am I feeling this way? And is it being helpful, or should I try to change it? So being aware of our emotions is a very, very powerful thing. And another activity that we can do with the mood meter are getting better at recognizing emotions. And so one of the things that we encourage people to do is looking through magazines. So you can, if you have like old magazines laying around, and you can browse through them and you can find people and, or maybe like their facial expressions, and you can try cutting them out and guess or try to put an emotion to it, because it's important to go beyond those words that we usually use, like fine or okay, and really expand our vocabulary in terms of our feelings to better describe them. So I thought that we could walk through it, through some of the pictures that I found in my magazines, and see if we can identify an emotion to them. So hopefully you can see this. This is a person that is smiling really, really big. And so paying attention to the body language and the facial expressions and what message they're sending. To me, this person looks very, very happy. So happy that she's even like closing her eyes, and she just has like a huge beaming smile. So what do you think she's feeling? How do you think her energy is, or her pleasantness level is? My guess would be that she is feeling very happy and very energetic. So I would classify her as being in the yellow. So I'm going to use some tape. Oh, and I only use tape, like painter's tape, to tape these on the walls. So you won't have to worry about messing up your walls if you decide to do this. But if you have maybe like a cork board, you can also use like little pins to create your mood meter. There's so many different ways to create one. And Pinterest, of course, is full of very creative ways of doing your mood meter. So I'm going to put her on the yellow quadrants, and she seems to be very, very happy. And then the next one that we have is another woman, and hopefully you can see it. So she is not smiling as big as the previous image, but she still kind of has somewhat of a smile, and she looks very pensive to me, like she's like deep in thought. But what do you think? What does she look like? What does she feel? What are some ways to describe her, maybe? I think I would say that she looks calm, like she looks like she's in a relaxed place in her life. So that would be in the green quadrant. So maybe low energy, but very pleasant. So I'm going to classify her in the green as being calm. And the next one that we have, hopefully you'll be able to see her. She doesn't have a smile. Her eyebrows are kind of frowned. And we can't really see the rest of her body, but looking at her shoulders, it kind of indicates to me that she maybe has them crossed in front of her. And so I think maybe she's like upset or maybe uneasy about something. Sometimes when we start paying attention to how we're feeling, like if we're feeling angry, our body tends to respond to that and kind of help us express that. And so if I'm feeling angry, I might, like cross my arms and, kind of do something with my eyebrows or with my forehead to indicate that I'm not feeling happy at that time. So I'm going to put her in the red quadrant because I think she's upset about something. And keep in mind that we don't really have any context to these images. We're really making guesses as to what people are feeling based on their body language, their facial expressions, and really the best way to know how other people are feeling and really even how we're feeling ourselves is by asking. So make sure that we're not just making assumptions. Make sure that we ask, right? It's very important. And our very last image that I have for you, here, I'll show it to you. It's another woman. So she's not really smiling. And really this is just like her face that we're looking at. And when I saw this image, I think what I focused on the most were her eyes. If you can just see her eyes, there's something kind of sad about them to me. So I'm thinking like maybe she's upset about something, but she looks very calm. She doesn't look like she has a lot of energy. And this might be hard for you to tell, but her eyes are kind of watery too. So I'm wondering, has she been crying? Like maybe she's just blue about something. And so I'm going to put her on our blue quadrant over here. And I intentionally chose pictures in the magazines that I found that were big enough so that you could see it. But if you find smaller pictures, then you'll be able to plot different feelings or more feelings. And you could even, instead of cutting pictures, you could maybe try drawing them, or you could also try taking pictures of yourself. If you have maybe one of those Polaroids, and you can put them up, and you can kind of try and practice expressing different emotions. You can also try to maybe just write the words instead of using images. You can just write them and put them on there. And I know I already mentioned Pinterest, but a really great resource, of course, is the internet. And the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence has a lot of great things that we can look up to expand our emotions vocabulary. So I encourage you to check that out. So thinking about how, I think I mentioned earlier that emotions are helpful and that they're information. They're telling us, how we're feeling, and it's helpful to understand them. But then also thinking about how there are no good or bad emotions. What are some of the things that these feelings are helpful, maybe like in activities? So thinking about maybe activities that we engage in learning at home. So starting out with the red, some people would probably tell you that feeling unpleasant is never helpful in school, right? And maybe people are going to say, like, just avoid the red. No one wants to be in the red. But feeling slightly unpleasant is actually quite conducive to certain type of activities. So unpleasant and energetic moods are useful for maybe debating a topic that you feel really passionate about. Or maybe when you have to write an essay to persuade someone on a particular point of view, or maybe you are discussing historical injustices or like social injustice. So maybe things like that will make you feel like you're in the red, and it's conducive to the activity. It's helpful in the activity that you're doing. So being in the red is not bad, and it can even be helpful for different things. And it also makes me think of news stories that I hear sometimes about, car accidents happening and people rushing to the scene to help, and hearing about how incredible it was for someone to like lift a car and save someone else. When you think about what that person was feeling in that moment, they were probably not feeling calm, or they probably weren't feeling happy. They were probably feeling really worried and scared. And those emotions made their bodies create the adrenaline that they needed in order to do something as amazing as, lifting a whole car to save someone, right? Or even thinking about more of a situation at school, like a fire drill or a tornado drill. Those are things that maybe put us on the red, but it makes our body aware in order to respond to the circumstances around us. So moving to the blue quadrant, how do you think blue feelings are helpful, and what activities? So unpleasant and less energetic moods, they're really helpful when maybe we're looking at someone else's work. Maybe when someone asks you to review or edit their writing, and you have to provide critical opinions, maybe like a critique, what they did well, what they didn't. Or maybe, when we talk about natural disasters, or even the things that we're experiencing right now, when a lot of people are experiencing grief and hunger and just a lot of struggles, those things might make us feel blue, but that's appropriate, right? Like it's not out of the box to feel that way. It's understandable to feel that way, and there's a time and a place, right, to feel that way. And that's also where empathy comes in. Like when you see someone struggle, that causes something in you, and that's your body processing that information, right? So empathy is important, and when we see other human beings struggling or facing adversity, it's an empathic response in us that makes us maybe feel blue along with them. And then moving on to the green quadrant, which are the pleasant but less energetic moods. Activities like studying or reading, or if you have to write a reflection, like a reflection journaling, being in the green would probably be a really good place for you to be. Or maybe if you're reading poetry, maybe that will calm you down and relax you. Or maybe when if you have to take a test and you're maybe gravitating more towards the red because you're getting worried or nervous about it, thinking like, okay, how can I be more in the green? How can I be calm before a big test so that I can think clearly and I can answer correctly? And so this is where a lot of breathing techniques come in place. Taking deep breaths, it's sometimes when someone is getting agitated, we jokingly tell them like, oh, just count till 10, or, breathe. But it really does help. Breathing creates changes in our nervous system. And so it's important to intentionally breathe and learn techniques to help us be in the green when we need to. And then last but not least, the yellow, so those pleasant and energetic moods. These emotions are really helpful when you're trying to be creative, when you're trying to come up with new ideas, or coming up with solutions for something, or also when you have to do group work. I know if you have siblings out there, it's really helpful when you're feeling yellow, because it's more likely that you're going to collaborate with other people. Or maybe when you have to write, or when learning about other cultures, maybe about traditions or festivals. Those are maybe things that make us feel what we call yellow. So going back to the acronym that I mentioned earlier, RULER, remember that it helps us memorize each of the 5 steps to do when we're dealing with emotions. So the first step, the first R, is recognizing that emotions. So some of the questions that we can ask ourselves is, where am I on the mood meter? How much energy do I have? How much pleasantness do I feel? And then going to the second step, understanding why we feel the way we do. We need to ask ourselves things like, why do I feel this way? What caused this feeling? Where is this feeling coming from? And keep in mind that sometimes it won't be something noticeable or something specific. Sometimes we feel the way we feel and we don't even know why, and that's fine, but just being aware of that is powerful. And then the third step, labeling and describing our emotions. So thinking, what word best describes how I'm feeling right now? And if you can't come up with a word yourself, I happen to have an application, the Mood Meter application on my phone, and it's very, very helpful because you can click on a word and learn the definition, and then you can kind of determine whether it fits how you're feeling right now or not. And that's another way that we can increase our vocabulary, our feelings vocabulary. And then the fourth step is expressing our emotions. So we can ask questions like, how am I showing this feeling? What is my face doing? What is my body language communicating? What does my behavior tell others about how I feel? And the fifth and final step is regulating emotion. We have to ask ourselves, is this feeling helpful? If so, how will I continue feeling this way? And if it's not helpful, what strategy will I use to change my feelings? That's the RULER acronym that I use to help me remember what are the different steps to deal with my emotions. And I know that at first it might be like, oh, that's a lot to do for just one emotion, but the more you practice it, it's like any other skill. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes and the more second nature it becomes. But really, this is a journey. This is something that you should do continually throughout your day. And the more you do it, the easier it'll become for sure. So I hope that you get creative with your mood meters at home. I would love to see what you come up with. If you feel comfortable sharing your mood meters, I would love to see your posts on social media. I work for a nonprofit called the Opportunity Project, and if you tag us, we're on Facebook and Instagram as the Opportunity Project. We would love to see your mood meters on there. So I hope you enjoyed learning more about emotions. I hope that both the mood meter and the ruler acronym help you explore your emotions, and I hope that you also come up with your own activities on how you can become what we call emotion scientists. We don't want to be emotion judges. Like I said, there's no bad emotion, and that applies not only to us but to other people. So when we see or recognize an emotion in another person, instead of jumping into conclusions or jumping into judgments, maybe just take a moment to ask yourself, like, how are they feeling and why are they feeling that way? And like I said, all we can do is guess on other people, and it's best to just ask how they're feeling to understand each other better and make sure that we're supporting each other accordingly. So thank you so much for having me today. I hope you enjoyed this activity, and we'll be seeing you next week.